Japan's Hokkaido receives more snowfall than anywhere else in the world, averaging around 15 meters each year. Parts of Siberia, Alaska, and high mountain regions follow close behind, where cold temperatures combine with steady moisture to create extreme snow buildup. In places like these, clearing snow isn't optional, but it's essential. That's where this attachment comes in. It clears a path about 8 feet 9 inches wide and just over 4 feet high. Inside, a large auger pulls snow in from the front and feeds it towards the center, where an impeller sends it out through the discharge system. Working together, these components allow the unit to move up to roughly 1,350 US tons of snow per hour. The way snow moves through the machine is fairly easy to understand. The auger gathers snow evenly across the full width so it doesn't pile up on one side. Once the snow reaches the impeller, it gets pushed out quickly and directed where it needs to go. This setup helps keep snow flowing at a constant pace, even when conditions change from light snowfall to more compacted drifts. One thing that stands out is how much control the operator has over snow placement. Snow can be thrown directly to the right or left, or sent through a rotating chute. The chute includes a triple flap outlet, which helps shape how the snow is thrown. On top of that, the impeller housing can be angled 45 degrees to the left or 60 degrees to the right, which makes it easier to work around road signs. Snow forms when moist air cools below freezing. Water vapor condenses into ice crystals, which grow, combine, and eventually fall to the ground as snowflakes during winter storms around the world each year. When those snowflakes accumulate on places like airport runways, they have to be removed quickly and efficiently to keep planes flying. That's where this machine comes in. It runs on 2 diesel engines that together produce about 1,000 horsepower in the standard version, while the higher capacity model can clear up to 8,500 tons of snow per hour. It throws snow roughly 115 feet away from the runway. The machine can handle everything from less than half an inch of fresh snow to snowbanks more than 6 feet high in a single pass. It moves under its own power. The cab sits on the chassis rather than on the blower itself, which helps cut down on vibration. The cab can also be shifted forward or backward, depending on what the operator needs to see. This machine looks like it comes straight out of a science fiction movie. They rely on 2 large diesel engines that together produce around 2,000 horsepower. One engine moves the vehicle along the track, while the other runs the system that pulls in snow and throws it clear of the rails. That split setup helps the machine keep moving while handling very heavy snow. It can clear a path close to 20 feet wide, move as much as 10,000 tons of snow in an hour, and throw it more than 130 feet away so it does not fall back onto the track. On open sections, it can travel at speeds up to about 62 miles per hour. A rotating chassis lets the machine change direction in tight rail corridors. Within the Aebi Schmidt group, the Beilhack name is tied to rail snow removal, where the job is more complex than pushing snow aside. Tracks, switches, and signal areas collect dense, compacted snow that has to be broken apart, pulled in, and removed completely. The focus is on clearing the track fully in as few passes as possible, so trains can return to service without long delays. A good example of this approach is the Beilhack 1100S. It is a self-propelled rail vehicle used to reopen long stretches of track after heavy snowfall. Because traction and snow handling are powered separately, the operator can keep control even when snow conditions change quickly. The rotating frame also helps in areas like mountain lines or rail yards, where turning space is limited. Global snowfall records stand out at Mount Baker, USA, which received an unprecedented 1,140 inches during the 1998 winter season, conditions that demand exceptionally powerful snow clearing equipment. To operate in environments like this, machines are built with extreme capability in mind. This particular snowblower runs on a turbo diesel engine producing around 755 horsepower, with power delivered to all four wheels. When actively removing snow, it can handle up to about 5,000 tons per hour. The blower clears a path roughly 114 inches wide and can throw snow 130 to 150 feet away, helping prevent road edges from filling back in. This machine is made by Larue and works as a self-propelled unit instead of being mounted on another vehicle. Everything it needs is on one frame: engine, cab, drivetrain, and blower. That setup makes a difference on long highway mountain roads where snow piles up fast and clearing has to keep moving. The snow handling system is fairly direct. Engine power goes through mechanical drives to large augers and an impeller that chews through dense, packed snow and throw it clear. Parts that take the most abuse, like skid shoes and scraper blades, use hardened steel and tungsten carbide so they last longer when scraping ice, gravel, and pavement. A block heater and two-stage air cleaner help the engine cope with cold starts and long winter shifts. Clearing snow can feel like going to the gym without signing up for it. You push, lift, twist, and repeat, usually before you've had coffee. Tools like the ones from Snowcaster try to make that a little less punishing. The general idea is simple. Move snow by pushing it forward instead of picking it up every few seconds. That small change affects how your body works during the job. You stay more upright and use forward motion. Over time, that can make clearing a sidewalk feel less exhausting, especially during heavier snowfall. The blades come in a wide range of sizes, starting smaller for tight areas and going much wider for open spaces. Larger blades let you move more snow in one pass, while narrower ones give better control when space is limited. Most of the tools are about 4 feet long, which keeps them at a comfortable working height, and their weight stays in a range that feels manageable. The blades themselves are made from smooth plastics that help snow slide instead of sticking. That smooth surface keeps snow rolling forward rather than piling up in front of the blade. A few models add wheels behind the blade. The wheels carry part of the weight, so your arms don't have to press down as much. The blade is angled slightly, guiding snow into rows as you move forward. The numbers don't really tell you what this robot does, but they give you a sense of what it's like to live with. It's about the size of a small push mower and weighs around 145 pounds with the battery in place. It works in extreme heat and cold, moves at a slow walking pace, and can run for roughly 4 hours before heading back to charge. For more the battery is low, it knows to return to its dock on its own, and it's ready to go again in about 3 hours. To find its way around, the robot uses a mix of GPS, cameras, radar, and sensors that help it see obstacles and understand where it is. It connects through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or cellular service, and it updates its software on its own. Depending on what it's doing and how big your property is, it can cover a lot of ground in one session without needing help. The main idea behind this system is that there's one robotic base, and everything else connects to it. Instead of owning separate machines for different yard jobs, you swap out attachments. The robot doesn't change how it moves, plans routes, or charges. Only the task changes. That means the same machine stays useful throughout the year. In winter, a snowblower attachment turns it into a snow clearing machine. This unit is larger and heavier, but it works on driveways and walkways made of pavement, concrete, or gravel. It clears snow up to a foot deep and throws it well away from the path. Mellif Tools, established in 2006 in Ohio, USA, began as a manufacturer and supplier of battery conversion adapters and compatible cordless tools. The brand is best known for designing power tools that work with batteries from other major brands, giving users flexibility across their tool collections. One example of this approach is Mellif's compact electric snow thrower, which is designed to clear snow from everyday residential areas such as sidewalks, driveways, and patios. The snow thrower clears a path approximately 12 inches wide and can handle snow depths of up to about 6 inches in a single pass. Snow is pushed forward and discharged through an adjustable chute that can be angled left, right, or straight ahead, throwing snow up to 17 feet. Its lightweight design, just under 8 pounds without a battery, and under 10 pounds with one installed, makes it easy to maneuver and ideal for quick, routine snow removal tasks around the home. In everyday use, it feels simple. You turn it on, guide it forward, and the spinning impeller pulls snow in and throws it out of the way. It's noticeably quieter than gas snowblowers, which makes early morning clearing a little less disruptive. The size and weight make it easy to move around, especially in tight spaces. 2 handles help keep it balanced while you work. When winter is over, the parts can be taken apart, so it doesn't take up much space in storage. Battery life depends on conditions, but a standard 4.0 amp-hour battery typically lasts around 20 to 30 minutes, which is enough time for most walkways. Think of this as a practical tool that breaks roof snow removal into smaller, easier steps. The system is made from aluminum poles that come in 5-foot sections. You connect as many as you need, up to about 30 feet, depending on how tall your roof is. On the end of the pole is a metal cutting frame. That frame sits on glide pads, which help it move across metal panels without dragging hard against the surface. Behind the cutter, a long fabric slide hangs down and guides the snow off the roof. What makes it different from a regular roof rake is how it removes the snow once it's cut. Instead of pulling a heavy load toward you, the cutter slices a narrow strip, and gravity does the rest. The snow slides down the chute and drops off the edge of the roof in one controlled path. This helps keep snow from stacking up at the gutters and cuts down on how much lifting you have to do. Depending on the setup, the slide is usually around 10 or 15 feet long, and some versions include an elastic section that helps keep the slide lined up when there's wind. You can use the tool in 2 main ways. From the ground, you push the cutter upward in short movements while standing below the roof edge. This lets you clear snow without climbing a ladder. If you're already on the roof, the pole can be attached on the opposite side of the cutter, so you pull it toward you instead. In that case, the slide hangs over the edge and directs the snow down and away. If snow had a least favorite enemy, this machine would probably be it. While most people see a quiet runway, winter crews see a surface that needs to be cleaned fast, and this sweeper plays a very specific role in that process. After plows move the bulk of the snow out of the way, this machine comes in to handle what's left behind. It brushes and blows away packed snow and slush so the runway can regain grip for aircraft operations. It usually works as part of a moving group of vehicles, keeping pace with the rest of the convoy rather than working alone. The heart of the system is a large rotating brush paired with a powerful airflow system. The brush stays in close contact with the pavement and pushes material toward the blower, which then sends it clear of the runway. The brush pressure adjusts automatically as conditions change, so the operator doesn't need to keep stopping to make corrections. Power for all of this comes from a Volvo diesel engine. It produces 425 horsepower enough to run the sweeping and blowing systems together. The machine carries a 264-gallon fuel tank and a 40-gallon hydraulic oil tank, allowing it to stay in operation for extended periods. When it comes to scale, the numbers explain why it's used on major runways. The brush measures about 3 feet in diameter. Under suitable conditions, clearing output can approach over 3 million square feet per hour, supported by an air system that moves roughly 1 million cubic feet of air per hour. Winters like 2013 were extreme, with some US locations locally reporting seasonal snow accumulations exceeding roughly 3 to 5 meters. Conditions like these highlight the need for heavy-duty rotary snowblowers, which are designed to handle a wide range of snow conditions by moving large volumes of snow away from roads. Depending on the model, these machines can have clearing widths ranging from about 4 feet to nearly 10 feet, and are capable of cutting through snow piles up to approximately 5 feet high. Internally, a large auger draws the snow inward, where a high-speed impeller then ejects it through a discharge chute. When snow must be thrown farther, the impeller and its housing increase in size accordingly, with the largest machines able to project snow well over 150 feet. These attachments are made to connect to different carrier vehicles like tractors, wheel loaders, utility vehicles, and snow groomers. Once mounted, the blower works as the vehicle moves forward. The auger breaks up packed snow and feeds it toward the center, where the impeller takes over and pushes it out of the chute. This setup allows snow to be removed completely rather than pushed aside, which helps keep roads and paths clear after repeated snowfall. Orec America is a Michigan-based outdoor power equipment manufacturer, founded in 2010, specializing in innovative brush mowers, snow plows, and transporters designed for professional use. The company traces its heritage to Orec, a Japanese brand established in 1948, blending decades of engineering experience with modern North American manufacturing. Among its snow clearing equipment, Orec offers 2 machines powered by reliable Honda gasoline engines, each tailored to different types of work. The larger model is equipped with a 10.7 horsepower and features. In contrast, the smaller walk-behind unit uses a 163 engine delivering 4.8 horsepower, making it more suitable for lighter tasks and tighter spaces. Mobility and control further distinguish the 2 machines. The larger unit employs a tracked zero-turn drive system, allowing forward speeds of up to 5 miles per hour and reverse speeds of 3 miles per hour for efficient maneuvering in demanding conditions. The walk-behind model offers a simpler drivetrain with 2 forward speeds of 1.4 and 2.3 miles per hour. Instead of throwing snow into the air, these machines push it forward, which keeps nearby windows, people, and parked cars out of the line of fire. The blade lifts and lowers using an electric and hydraulic system, and it can float to follow surface changes. If the blade hits something solid, it tips forward to absorb the impact instead of stopping abruptly. Before refrigerators existed, people relied on blocks of ice cut from frozen lakes. These blocks were stored in insulated ice houses and then delivered to homes, where they were placed in ice boxes to keep food cool. Both this early system and modern technology depend on managing extreme temperatures, whether preserving cold or generating heat. When a modern snow melting system is running at full output, it can melt hundreds of tons every hour. In simple terms, turning packed snow and ice into water requires a massive amount of heat, and this machine is designed to produce that heat continuously. As the snow melts, the water is sent straight into nearby storm drains. Before that happens, the machine strains out everything that shouldn't go down the drain. Sand and other debris get caught and collected so they can be removed later. This setup is mainly used by Aero Snow Removal, a company that's been around since the early 1960s and later became part of Dejana Industries. They focus on clearing, piling, and melting snow right where it falls. Airports are a prime example, since there's often no time to haul snow away safely. If you look at how this system works at its core, it's all about its mechanical setup. The attachment takes its power directly from the tractor as it moves, so there's no need to hook up hydraulics. Once it's mounted, the tractor's movement alone drives the cutting action. That keeps the setup simple and avoids extra connections that can slow things down. The ice is handled by 2 cutting sections placed one behind the other. Each section is 47 inches wide, so the surface gets worked twice in a single pass. Each section has 4 pairs of cutter wheels, which means there are 16 wheels total. Every wheel is 10 inches across and fitted with 15 tough knives. Instead of scraping ice away, those knives strike it repeatedly, breaking it apart piece by piece. Each cutter wheel sits on its own spring-supported arm. That means the wheels can move up and down on their own as the machine travels. This matters because sidewalks and pedestrian areas are rarely flat. Ice forms in layers shaped by foot traffic, melting, refreezing, and water runoff. You see this most around ramps, driveway crossings, and sloped walkways. Using the attachment is fairly easy. It pairs with compatible municipal tractors, including trackless models, since there are no hoses or power shafts to deal with. Mounting and alignment are handled with an adjustable support leg, and removable weights let operators adjust balance depending on the job or transport needs. Think of this attachment as a way to give a skid steer more control when cleaning snow. It comes in several sizes, starting around 77 inches wide when closed and opening up to as much as 159 inches. Depending on the version, it stands either 30 or 34 inches tall and weighs between about 1,200 and 1,900 pounds. It's meant to be used on skid steers and compact loaders that weigh between 5,000 and 13,000 pounds and have 50 to 115 horsepower. You can choose between steel or rubber cutting edges, depending on how you want it to contact the surface. What makes this plow different is how it removes snow in tight and open areas. In the middle, there's a main blade, and on each side there are hydraulic extensions with rotating wings. When the wings are straight, the plow works like a wide pusher, moving snow forward across roads. When the wings rotate, the blade can pull snow back toward the machine, which helps in places like loading docks, drive lanes, or areas between parked vehicles. Since the wings rotate instead of just angling the whole blade, more of their surface holds snow during each pass. The blade face isn't flat. It has an angled shape that helps snow roll instead of sticking, especially in wet conditions. That shape helps keep snow moving across the blade during longer clearing jobs. The mounting system also plays a big role. It allows the blade to move vertically and side to side while also using a trip system. This attachment works by sweeping instead of pushing or throwing snow. It uses a rotating brush powered by the machine's hydraulics to move snow off the surface. The whole unit weighs around 350 pounds and measures about 44 inches wide, 45 inches long, and 29 inches high. When it's straight, it clears a path about 38 inches wide, and when angled, that drops to roughly 35 inches. The brush itself is a 21-inch diameter wafer-style cylinder, and its speed and direction can be controlled by the operator. What makes this attachment different from a plow or blower is how gentle and controlled the clearing process is. The stand-on skid steer layout makes it easy to maneuver in tight sidewalk spaces and narrow paths. Its compact size allows access to areas that larger machines struggle with. Nothing reminds you it's winter, like picking up a shovel and realizing the snow is heavier than it looks. That's exactly the kind of moment the Ariens rapidtrak is built for. They combine a two-stage snow clearing system with a hybrid drive setup that blends the grip of tracks with the maneuverability of wheels. Power comes from gas engines, ranging from compact 223 to heavy-duty units exceeding 420 cubic centimeters on larger models. Clearing widths span 24 to 32 inches, throwing snow roughly 40 to 55 feet. What makes the system different is how it handles traction. Ariens uses a movable rear wheel alongside full tracks, and that wheel position changes how the machine behaves. Raise the wheel and the blower sits fully on its tracks, which helps it hold its position on slopes or icy surfaces. Lower the wheel and it behaves more like a wheeled machine, making turns feel quicker and less demanding. How the blower feels while moving depends on the drive type. Hydrostatic models let you ease forward or slow down without shifting gears, while Discomatic versions rely on mechanical steps that deliver power in fixed ranges. Auto turn steering helps take the strain out of turning by letting each side move independently, so the machine doesn't fight you when changing direction. Think of this machine as a heavy rail car that helps railroads deal with snow and track upkeep. It's about 50 feet long and weighs close to 70 tons, so it's a serious piece of equipment. There's a large plow on the front and big adjustable wings on the sides, plus extra blades on some versions for more detailed work. The blades move using powered systems, first with air and later with hydraulics, so the crew can change their position while the train is moving. It doesn't move on its own and always works with locomotives. The operator sits in a raised cab with wide windows, which helps them see the area around it. The cutting edges are set a few inches below the top of the rail, so they can clear packed snow without hitting the rail itself. What makes it interesting is how it handles snow. Instead of just pushing snow to the side and leaving tall piles right next to the track, it spreads the snow farther away. The front blade cuts into the snow between and along the rails, and the side wings swing out to push that snow well away from the track. This leaves more open space and helps keep the snow from blowing right back in when the wind picks up. Winter has a way of showing who came prepared and who did not. When snow keeps falling and roads still need to stay open, that's where this kind of equipment quietly does its job in the background. The machines come from a manufacturer that has spent decades working in places where winter is not a short event, but a long season. Over time, the company became part of a larger international group, but the equipment kept following the same technical ideas. The focus stayed on machines that can work long hours and handle repeated use without complicated setups. One part of the lineup centers on road maintenance trucks. The idea is simple. Take a standard truck and turn it into a working machine. Hydraulics and electronic controls are combined into one system, so the driver uses the same interface whether running a plow, a brush, a spreader. If new tasks come up later, additional tools can be added without replacing the truck itself. Depending on the configuration, these trucks operate at highway speeds and use engines ranging from about 300 to 500 horsepower. The snow plows are meant for wide roads and heavy snowfall. With multiple blade sections and controlled angles, they guide snow away from the road surface. Clearing widths reach just over 10 feet, and overall weight depends on blade size. Winter has a way of reminding you who's in charge, usually right when you're running late and your windshield looks like it belongs in a freezer. You grab a scraper, take one look at the ice, and already feel tired. This electric ice scraper changes that routine. Instead of putting your shoulder into every scrape, you let the tool do the hard part. You guide it along the glass while a spinning disc breaks the ice loose. In your hand, it feels comfortable and easy to control. It doesn't take up much space in the car and doesn't feel heavy while you're using it. The plastic blades are strong enough to deal with stubborn ice but softer than metal scrapers, helping reduce the risk of marks on the windshield. When those blades wear down, replacing them is quick. Using it is simple once it's charged. You remove the cover, switch it on, and place it against the ice. A bit of pressure lets the disc spin as you move across the surface. Because it clears a wider path with each pass, you can often finish the windshield in just a few minutes. A small LED light shows how much battery is left. When the lifts shut down and the mountain goes quiet, the real work of shaping a snowpark begins. And that's the moment PRINOTH X Camp is built around. Instead of staged demos or formal lessons, it centers on what actually happens after hours, When operators and park builders use machines and experience to turn piles of snow into features riders will hit the next day. The blade on the front can move through a wide range, even close to vertical, which helps when pushing snow into jump faces. In the back, the tiller can be adjusted more than on standard groomers. Inside the cab, everything is laid out to make long shifts easier. There's a large touchscreen that lets operators set up their own preferences, so controls feel familiar every time they climb in. The joysticks allow blade and tiller movements at the same time, which makes shaping feel more natural. Strong lighting, camera systems, heating and cooling, and a comfortable seat all help operators stay focused, especially during late hours. Now, let's talk about another machine. Rather than relying on hydraulics, this model transfers power in a more direct way, allowing the rotor to respond more consistently. As a result, it can travel at speeds approaching 6 miles per hour, climb steep slopes head-on, and maintain stability on side angles that would stop many other machines. Measuring just over 23 feet in length and about 9 feet in height, and weighing close to 39,000 pounds with a mulcher attached, it delivers a solid, planted feel on the ground. What really stands out is how it moves across challenging surfaces. The rubber track system spreads the machine's weight across a wide area, which helps prevent it from sinking into soft soil or leaving deep marks behind. There's no shoot-to-aim snow like on a blower. Where the snow goes depends on how you angle the shovel as you move. After a short time, that motion feels natural. It runs on an 80-volt battery and uses an electric motor to spin an auger at the front. That spinning auger is what pulls snow in and throws it forward. The clearing path is about 12 inches wide, and it removes snow that's roughly 6 inches deep, with some versions going a bit deeper. Snow can be thrown as far as 20 feet, depending on how heavy or wet it is. The whole unit weighs around 19 pounds and stands a little over 3 feet tall. Think of it as something that sits between a regular shovel and a small snowblower. You don't scoop snow by hand. Instead, you walk it forward and let the auger do the work. Your job is mainly guiding it where you want the snow to go. It works best on flat surfaces like concrete or asphalt. Gravel or loose stones can get picked up by the auger and thrown, so those surfaces are better avoided. The battery fits into the larger 80-volt lineup from Greenworks, so if you already have tools from that system, you can use them. In the US alone, there was about 40,000 winter-related work injuries occur each year, most of them caused by slips and falls on ice or snow. One way to significantly reduce these risks is by eliminating the need for workers to climb onto vehicles to remove accumulated snow. This system does exactly that by clearing snow from the tops of trucks, trailers, buses, and vans without requiring anyone to go up there. As a vehicle drives through, the machine removes up to 24 inches of snow in a single pass. The way it works is pretty simple. There's a curved scraper blade that sits on the roof as the vehicle moves forward. As it slides across the top, it pulls the snow inward and pushes it off both sides. Wheels help the blade stay in contact with the roof without pressing down too hard. There are a few ways the system can be operated. Some setups use a handheld controller, where someone lowers and raises the blade for each vehicle. Other versions handle most of that on their own. With one activation, the system lines itself up with the vehicle, sets the blade at the right height, signals the driver to move forward, and then resets for the next truck. These snowblowers run on a 56-volt battery system, and instead of pulling power from just one battery, they can use two at the same time when the snow gets heavier. That setup helps the machine keep its strength without sudden drops in performance. Everything is driven by electric motors, including the parts that move the snow, and on the bigger models, the wheels themselves. Depending on the model, the machine clears either a 21-inch or 24-inch wide path. What feels different compared to gas machines is how the power comes on. The moment you start it, the auger has full pull, so there's no waiting for an engine to warm up. When the snow gets packed or wet, the machine automatically draws more power from both batteries. That makes the snow come out of the chute at a more even pace, instead of bogging down halfway through a pass. The single-stage versions are best if you're mostly clearing sidewalks, patios, or a regular driveway. You push them forward, control how fast the auger spins, and adjust where the snow goes with the chute controls. Some versions use a steel auger, which helps chew through crusted snow and light ice without much effort. Melting snow absorbs a large amount of heat without significantly increasing in temperature because of latent heat. This property explains why snow piles can cool the surrounding air and keep drinks cold outdoors for surprisingly long periods. The same principle is exploited by specialized snow melting machines designed to process snow quickly. One such machine is capable of melting large volumes of snow, up to 40 tons per hour when the snow temperature is around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It operates on common cold weather fuels such as No. 1 oil or winter diesel and uses a high output burner producing approximately 9 million BTU per hour. Before operation begins, the unit's tank must be filled with water, which is heated to create the base into which snow is melted. As the snow turns to water, it is discharged at a rate of about 160 gallons per minute, remaining close to 38 degrees Fahrenheit due to the energy absorbed during melting. The machine consumes roughly 64 gallons of fuel per hour. Structurally, the unit weighs about 16,500 pounds when empty. What makes this system interesting is how the heat is applied. Instead of warming metal parts and hoping the heat transfers well, the burner releases heat directly into the water. This creates strong movement inside the tank, so snow doesn't sit in one place or clump together. Packed snow breaks apart more easily, and the water stays hot enough to keep the melting process moving along. Clearing snow at an airport isn't like shoveling a driveway. When the snow keeps falling and planes still need to move, the equipment has to work fast. That's where this type of blower system fits in. The setup revolves around a large blower head that doesn't rely on the vehicle to power it. Instead, it runs on its own engine, while a separate engine handles driving and support systems. This split keeps things simple during operation. Once it's working, the goal is volume. Snow is drawn in continuously, even when it's dense or tightly packed. The open layout of the blower helps keep the flow moving so it doesn't slow down. Snow gets thrown well clear of the surface, which helps prevent banks from forming right along runways. That means fewer repeat passes and less time spent re-clearing the same sections. The blower is driven by an engine producing about 1,000 horsepower, pushing snow at rates that can reach roughly 7,500 tons per hour. During clearing, the carrier can move at speeds around 25 miles per hour, while the blower throws snow as far as 85 feet.